What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad, and if you're a Friday the 13th fan, it is one hell of a time to be alive. Of course, we just had a Friday the 13th on Friday, which has people talking about the franchise again. Vincent DeSanti and Womp Stomp Films just unveiled the first official footage from Never Hike Alone 2, which is set to debut later this year. And of course, A24 is reviving the series in a new and exciting way in the form of a TV series currently titled Crystal Lake to premiere on Peacock later this year as well. Now, on Friday the 13th, there was a screening of Friday the 13th Part 3D. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Second helping!
At the Chinese Theater in Los Angeles with Brian Fuller, who is kind of at the helm of this Crystal Lake series, and he offered up some pretty cool information about what we can expect from the series. Eric Goldman, who is the managing editor over at fandom.com, was at the screening, and this is what he had to say. They officially start writing in 2 weeks. It will have 2 scores to choose from, a modern one and a classic Manfredini one. Kevin Williamson is writing an episode. Adrian King will have a recurring role. Now, first of all, Kevin Williamson, who you will surely know as the writer of the Scream franchise, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and also an executive producer on Halloween H2O, is attached to write an episode of this series, which is really, really exciting. He is a really, really talented dude, and I'll be very interested to see what he brings to the table. Second, while we're not sure who exactly will compose the score, they're looking at utilizing 2 different ones, a modern, possibly more, I would guess, dramatic, cinematic one, but also the classic 80s Manfredini score that was very reminiscent of Bernard Herrmann's score in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. He went on to say that Fuller has pitched 4 seasons for Crystal Lake. Only one officially ordered so far, though. He notes that Peacock would have to pay a pretty hefty penalty if they didn't order a season 2. You know, to me, it really seems like they're playing the long game with this series, and they're trying to make sure to leave no stone unturned when it comes to their approach and paying their dues to the source material. I really love the sense of respect and honor for all areas of the franchise, especially both for Pamela and for Jason. Now, speaking of Pamela, Goldman went on to say, asked if he can confirm Pamela's role in the Crystal Lake series, Fuller replied, "We're honestly going to be covering it all. The series is covering the life and times of these 2 characters." For me, the most interesting bit of news that came out of that screening is that Adrian King, who portrayed Alice Hardy in Friday the 13th Part 1 and Part 2, is set to make her return to the franchise in a recurring role. Now, it is possible that she could be returning to play Alice herself, but I'm going to be honest with you, I have a little bit more of an interesting theory.
You see, Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
Where's Mr. Christie?
Oh, I couldn't let them open this place again. Could I? Not after what happened.
What if Adrian King was set to play Pamela Voorhees in the Crystal Lake series? I mean, wouldn't that be, insanely cool? Okay, now hear me out on this. Betsy Palmer was born in 1926, making her 54 years old when the very first Friday film came out. Adrian King is currently 62 years old. That's not a very big age difference. I know that everyone and their mother
Okay.
wants to see Jason in all of his glory, but I really think that there's an opportunity to showcase Pamela's psychotic break and her slow descent into insanity in a way that's never really been possible before. Let's be honest with each other. Most people wouldn't want to sit through a true remake of the 1980 film without the hockey mask wearing, machete wielding Jason that we all have come to know and love. Pamela isn't enough to satisfy audiences for a movie, but I think this show is a little bit different. You can cast a younger Adrian King lookalike for flashback scenes, and to really establish the character both pre and post Jason's drowning, to showcase the Norman Bates-esque psychosis that we eventually get to see when she goes on her murderous rampage through Crystal Lake. Either way, it sounds like everything is going incredibly well for the franchise's big return. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us, and I know so many Friday the 13th fans have been waiting for something official for so long. So no matter what they do, I think because people have had to wait for so long, they're really going to try and stick the landing on this series because there's a lot riding on it. I mean, this is the first time that we have gotten to really experience Pamela and Jason since 2009. It's been over a decade since we had anything Friday the 13th in terms of movie and film. So I think this is going to be really cool. I think it's a genius idea, but as always, I want to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to leave us a comment down below. New episodes of Let's Talk Movies and Purely and Simply Evil premiere every single week at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LTMPodcastKY. Be sure to leave this video a like, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me just for a little bit, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.